Another thing, now this is really, really, really the big one. This is the biggin, is changing your accent to sound native. Woo-hoo-hoo, boy, that is opening a can of worms, isn't it? You're changing your accent. So let's imagine you're an Italian and you're learning English. You will find many videos that tell, and blog posts and websites or whatever, that tell you need to change your accent to sound native. Like, you can make all the grammar mistakes in the world, you can fuck up all your tenses, it doesn't matter. But you know what? If you sound like the Queen, then all's good, you know? But I want to talk about this for a moment. By a moment, I probably mean another 5-minute rant. But accent is not as important as what people think. Pronunciation really is important. And you're probably thinking, well, Emma, what's the difference between accent and pronunciation? And I'll be honest, they do go hand in hand. Like, accent and pronunciation do go together. The way I pronounce something is influenced by my accent. So when I teach pronunciation in my lessons or on my Pronunciation with Emma YouTube channel, the way that I pronounce those words is influenced by my accent. Another ambulance. Do excuse it. But which accent you learn is not important. What's important is that you're pronouncing the words in a clear way so that people can understand you. Let's imagine, if you're still confused by this point, let's imagine I say to you, oh, can you pass me that pen on the table? And you look, so what? That pen there, can you pass me the pen on the table, please? The table? What's a table? Right, the table. The table in front of you. What's wrong with you? The table. Ah, you mean the table. So here, in this context, the person has mispronounced the word table. There's a table. Okay. I've never heard anyone say table. Maybe some people have. If you say table, now you know it's table. But in that context, it has caused confusion. Let's imagine that I am an English learner and I have problems with the dark L. So I say something like table. I know that Portuguese speakers, particularly Brazilians, looking at you Brazilians, they tend to have problems with the dark L at the end of words. So they will say things like fell, fall, table. They say it like a w sound, which is fine. It's understandable. It's actually quite Cockney, which is a typical accent in London. And, imagine I say the same thing. Can you pass me that pen on the table, please? On the table. Yeah, instead of table. Yeah. The other person may think, table. They've just said it, a little bit different. It's their accent. But it's okay. I understand it. I understand table. Or if I move stress around in a word, if I say, for example, looking around for inspiration, camera. Let's go with camera. If I say camera, oh, look at this beautiful camera that I've bought. Yeah, the camera settings are amazing. Oh, the quality of this camera. And you'll be like, what? Camera? It's not camera, it's camera or camera. So, your pronunciation is important, but your accent is not so important. It is not what makes you sound native. Another thing is that a lot of people believe that you must speak with like one particular accent. So, for example, I get so many messages saying things like, oh, I want to learn British English. I'm not going to listen to any American English ever. I'm just going to focus on British English. And I think, well, good for you. One, that's not good. Because you're going to really, what am I thinking of? You see? Even I'm stuck for words sometimes. It's definitely going to have a bad effect on your listening comprehension. Like, you're definitely going to have problems with understanding American accents in the future if you only limit yourself to one. And two, it doesn't really matter anyway. Like, it doesn't matter which accent you pick, I'll be very honest, because we can all understand each other. At the end of the day, I can understand someone from the States, from Canada, from the south of England, or from Scotland, or New Zealand, or South Africa, or wherever. We can all understand each other. Some accents are more difficult than others, but it's because I'm just not exposed to that accent enough, and you need to expose yourself to those accents more. If I had problems with the Scottish accent, I would just listen to more Scottish TV shows or podcasts or whatever and get used to the accent. And English learners need to do the same. It's no different. Absolutely no different. So yeah, changing your accent. It doesn't necessarily make you native. Especially when people say things like, oh, you need to sound a particular way. You need to have this one accent and have no other influence from any other accent or your first language. Balls to that, because I'm from Yorkshire. And my accent's quite mixed, because I've been teaching for, over 13 years. Actually, no, not over 13, that's a lie. It will be 13 years this year, I think. And I've travelled quite a bit. My boyfriend is Spanish. So my accent has changed quite a lot. I also don't live in Yorkshire, I live in Bristol. So there are some times when I say something, and it comes out a little bit Bristolian, you know? So it really, does that make me a non-native speaker? Because my accent is mixed? It's bullshit. When people tell you, oh, your accent is mixed, you don't sound like a native, send them to me. Send them to this podcast. And get them to listen to it all the way through. Then I get the what's it called? Oh, it can't be ad revenue. On YouTube, yeah. I get the views. I get the listens. Oh, I've got to switch it from views to listens now. I get the listens.